There's a new women's health center at the Veterans Administration Hospital in Leeds, and attention is also being paid to what's known as MST, military sexual trauma, sexual harassment, and actual sexual assaults. And it's now being treated as one more very important component of the overall physical and psychological health needs of female veterans.
Veterans Coming Home is made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by Pride Stores.
Treating women vets is a challenge in the VA because, again, traditionally we're not used to doing that. We're not used to working with women patients. And as an institution, you don't really realize that until someone stands up and says, this isn't working. I'm not being treated the way I need to be treated, not because we're being malicious, but because we just don't realize. So it's things that we really have to listen to our vets to pick up on, and then make that effort to change things.
The women that we serve have been willing to step up to the plate, put on a uniform, go to war if called to, so they really are different than women who you'll find in the community.
The problem around MST or any kind of sexual trauma is that it affects people's lives in ways they don't realize. It comes up as, well, first of all, your stress level is much, just baseline much higher. Your ability to cope with any stressors is impaired. And then they come with, headaches, abdominal pain, sort of vague muscle complaints, physical complaints that you definitely need to address and try to chase down and figure out what's going on. But when you then look at the global picture, can say, you know what, you're having real physical pain, you're having real physical problems. Can we connect this to trauma you've had in the past, how you've dealt with that trauma, and maybe find healthier ways to deal with that trauma for you?
Military sexual trauma is a huge problem. We screen every single veteran that comes into our care for military sexual trauma because we know it is a big problem. And what we've learned is that 25%, 1 in 4 female veterans have experienced military sexual trauma.
We had gone away to do a funeral detail, and I was actually assaulted by someone in my unit. I brought it forth, and I was basically called a liar. I learned at that moment that, number one, soldiers don't cry, and if this is what I wanted to do, I needed to just move forward, and that's what I did. Can't say that it wasn't painful. I had a lot of self-destructive behaviors, but I held it together. Mainly because I'm a little bit stubborn, and I just wasn't gonna let that situation or those people cause me to stop, because I wanted to finish my term of service.
And then where do you go to turn for help? Oftentimes there's great shame and self-blame involved after an assault, and one may not ask for assistance, may not report the incident, which then means you may have to work beside your perpetrator for a long time.
I kind of shut the world off. It was a bad thing when I came back, kind of sent my family for a loop. I still work through self-isolating and all of those things. I was existing and not living, and I was teaching my kids how to exist and not live. So I started coming in to the Bond Street Clinic for treatment.
And I really do encourage people to come forward and to know that there is help available. and that there's a way that we can reduce symptoms, improve quality of life. And I do get to be part of many wonderful success stories. And sure, there's struggles along the way. And when people, let's say, start the group, I'll say, symptoms will worsen before they get better. That's just the nature of trauma work. But it means that we're working on something. And, I believe we can get through this together, as a group.
Veterans Coming Home is made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by Pride Stores. WGBY is proud to partner with the VA Central Western Massachusetts, Soldier On, and the Bilingual Veterans Outreach Centers of Massachusetts to support veterans in their successful transition to civilian life. Information at wgby.veteranscominghome.org.